Yeah, my name is Peter Taylor. I work for Belkin and I run the WeMo product management team. So WeMo is Belkin's position on the Internet of Things. It's about connected devices in your home that you can control from your smartphone. We, as Belkin, have understood wireless networking for many years now, and WeMo for us is really about the next stage of networking, the next transition for consumers to really get value from connectivity and to reap value from their smartphone in solving everyday problems. So from a Belkin perspective, clearly our channel is strongly retail focused, and to us it means giving the consumer a chance to buy some more products that solve everyday problems without having to suffer subscriptions or installations, because the connected home, the Internet of Things, smart devices are really a turning point right now where they're becoming aware to the mass market. And we believe there's a very strong value proposition, but consumers need to buy and try before they're prepared to spend the $500 or the $1,000 on kitting out their home. And we don't see consumers sitting at home saying, I want to go and buy me some home automation today. So what the way we're approaching the market is to give bite-sized pieces of functionality that allow people to buy something and try it. And it might be that lighting is the first thing for you, or it might be that cameras are the first thing for you, or it might be that little sensors around your home from a soft security perspective are the right thing for you. What we're trying to do is allow consumers to just start where they want to start, and if they buy one thing and they enjoy it, buy more, but to think of that as a progressive journey, because today no one's thinking about, the mass market aren't thinking about 30 devices in their home that are connected and controlled from their phone. It's one or two. So we believe that in the course of, let's say, the 5-year horizon that you suggest, that lots of categories of device and product in your home will be connected. And we believe at that point it won't be about buying smart home, it will just be about buying a better heater or a better humidifier that better solves my problem of wanting to come home to a warm house. And it will be an expectation of consumers when they're walking down an aisle in Best Buy or Home Depot to say, oh, here's the good one, here's the better one, here's the best one, and here's the smartphone connected one. And that will be an expectation. And so it still, we don't believe, will be a, hey, I want me some home automation. We think it will be more, oh, I'm going to replace my refrigerator. Let's look at the refrigerator aisle and understand really clearly what are the specific benefits of connected as it applies to a refrigerator or as it applies to a heater or a toaster oven. Because connectivity is a technology, and we have to recognize that. And so what we are trying to do as a business now, and what the industry is doing an improved job over time, is of explaining why you care. Why would consumers consider the connected option? What does it really bring you today as this whole space is emerging? So we'll focus on those real solutions to real problems, how connectedness brings you a real value, and assume people will start one piece at a time. And in 5 to 10 years, yeah, we expect people, the average household will have 10 or more connected devices. Today, that isn't the case for the average household. And so there's a trajectory to walk through with the consumer where they've got Wi-Fi, they've got a smartphone. What can we do with that? To some extent, we believe that we can fulfill needs today that the consumer isn't yet pulling money out their pocket for, because we're optimizing around how we describe that value, and we're optimizing around how consumers can understand why connected is relevant to them. So the technology is capable of a lot more than consumers need today, but the consumers are on this journey about discovering what they could do and discovering the values and also getting over some of the fear points. There's a lot of fear in this space of complexity around setup, not really understanding will it solve a problem for me or will it just be more hassle than it's worth, because connected things have been launched progressively over the last 10 years and some of them were a bit patchy. And people got a bit bruised by that, and then there's a bit of reluctance to come back and try again. So if you have smart lighting in an office and you walk in, the lights come on, it's great. And you sit too still in your meeting and the lights go out and you have to wave your arms to turn the lights back on again. We call that dumb smart, and what we're trying to do right now, as we do extensive consumer research of our products, is to understand how much automation or how much technology is the consumer ready for, how much do they want, and we've been surprised. We've been really surprised. Consumers get a lot of value from seeing what state their product is in. Is it on or off? Just seeing if it's on or off is a significant value that we haven't baselined sufficiently. Then the control piece comes on top of that, just manual control, scheduling on top of that, and then the automation piece of if this motion sensor sees someone walk past, turn on this device. That's really beyond quite a few consumers today, just because of how seamlessly it can be delivered, and how much it appreciates the subtleties of what could be going on in the home. So hey, if I walk into my kitchen, turn on my lights, is great when it's dark. It's not great in the daytime, and it's great when it's dark if you're not trying to walk into the kitchen subtly without anyone seeing you. So those kind of contexts are really where we're trying to invest deeply in smart, where we're putting more sensors in the home than anybody else in this space. So we're using the router, the router, to understand what's going on digitally in the house. Is someone streaming Netflix right now, in which case maybe they're sitting very still but they're doing something, so don't change the lighting scenario right now, or don't turn the heater off because they still want a warm house. We're also investing in technology that looks at electricity and water consumption in your house, and disaggregates it. So it takes your whole water bill and separates it down to the devices consuming it, your whole electricity bill, and separates it into devices consuming it. So we can use that as a sensor. So again, those are two single point sensors I've just described that you install in your house that gives us context to make smart decisions about when should we really change the environment on your behalf. But I'll go back to where I started. That's really too far for most consumers right now. Most consumers right now are actually pretty excited and pretty happy with awareness, control, and scheduling. And if you make the scheduling a bit smarter and you add a few little features here and there around making lighting, dimming a bit smarter, then you can deliver a very happy consumer for under $100 and no subscription and no installation. And that's where Belkin's playing. We're playing in the let people buy it, try it, and give them a price point and a pathway that isn't scary. So go back to the start of your question. In 10 years' time, we think the space will be a lot bigger because some of the fears would have been dealt with. Consumers will feel more confident they're going to get what they want. We internally own our whole end-to-end. We've built a firmware stack, we've built some electronics, we've built a module, we've got a cloud, and we've built apps for Android and iOS. And that ecosystem is a platform, as you described. We can make interfaces with other people, cloud to cloud, or we can make interfaces with other people from a module perspective. So for example, our partnership with Jarden is around Wi-Fi modules going into existing appliances like the Crock-Pot or Mr. Coffee machine. And our module, very small Wi-Fi module, goes into that existing appliance and allows a manufacturer like Jarden who don't understand wireless to have app-controlled appliances. And so our ecosystem has been built with that in mind, that Belkin understands connectivity. We have an app and a cloud, and we have this firmware stack that we can deploy with kitchen appliances, with light bulb partners, with our Osram and TCP partnerships. We're controlling their light bulbs using our ecosystem. And that's kind of the way we thought about it, was to do it from the ground up so it was very scalable, to help other businesses bring connectivity to the world. There are brands in the world that people really trust. And let's take Crock-Pot as a great example. It's a very well-known traditional brand in America that has an incredibly high penetration rate across the states. And we believe the value of those brands in bringing people into connected is quite high, because the new world of connected brands, some of the startups, and even some of the technology companies playing in connected are intimidating to the masses. And the masses who just want a new heater or a new humidifier or even a new air purifier because I'm an asthma sufferer, then get me that purifier from the brand I trust. So I go into Best Buy or I go into Bed Bath & Beyond and I buy a Holmes air purifier and it happens to be connected. That consumer trusts that brand, And so that's a really interesting on-ramp. So one of the ways we look at our partnerships is it's more on-ramps for more people to come into connected in a subtle and gentle way. It's not the aggressive, hey, there's this whole new category of products called Internet of Things. It's the same product you were buying, but it solves new problems because it's connected. And so we think that's a very exciting journey as the IoT space goes from this big to everything being connected, from it being about garage door openers or smart lighting, which is kind of on the newer side, to it being about coat hooks that cost $5 that in 20 years time may be connected. So if your coat's at home, we've got a trajectory there down a cost path and a trajectory there up a trust path for the consumer. And we think those brands are a really important part of that story. So our partnerships we feel very proud of and will continue to develop over the course of time. Yeah, so our concept is we shouldn't have to blind the consumer with any technologies, and we shouldn't have to ask the consumer, what have you got in your house in terms of radio technology? Do you have Zigbee in your house? Because that's going to end the conversation right there. So the package with any WeMo enabled product will have the WeMo app icon on the front of it, and that's all the consumer needs to know, and the product will sell itself on its benefits. And so, for example, the crockpot dinner ready when you are. You can adjust the time of dinner based on how your day really went. And people will buy that not because of necessarily WeMo, but because it solves that problem. I want my dinner to be a bit more flexible to my day, my reality of my day. So yes, we'll have a call out. We don't think that's going to be the primary reason to buy. We think it's more about what solution are you providing to the consumer.